people don't want anything to do with. But the parts that are cool and that kind of thing, you take it and you use it to your benefit, and then you do it in such an irresponsible way. When have I ever, when I wake up, I won't type, I woke up like this. We don't talk like that. And for you to be able to take a piece of, with the cornrows and that kind of thing, and kind of represent yourself as a person of color, so to speak, and do it in this irresponsible, I have a problem with that too.
You know, and Kylie Jenner was known to use a hashtag once that said white girls do it better.
Yeah, see.
So it's just those little digs. So Amanda Steinberg was like, look, you take things and use it when it's best
when it's beneficial for you.
And it's time for you to stop using the parts of black culture that you feel like is going to promote your agenda.
Yes.
But yet you don't speak of anything relevant. But now here's my thing too. I told you, like I said, Amanda Steinberg is well ahead of her time to be 16.
Yes.
She's well ahead of her time.
Yes,
Very, very mature girl. Mm-hmm. I don't expect any real rhetoric or conversation from Kylie Jenner.
You know what she said? She's like, whatever, go hang out with Jaden. Right. That was her comeback. I'm like, she gave you a whole paragraph with facts and big intellectual words, and all you could come back with hashtag go hang out with Jaden. That was your comeback?
You know, and then and Steinberg has been all over because it started with the hashtag white girls do it better.
Right.
I guess Kylie Jenner was working on, I guess she's got a wig line coming out.
Yes.
She's 17. Yes. What the heck? She's got a wig line coming out. Yeah. And somehow in this picture she had taken, she put, that was the hashtag she used. And then that's when Steinberg initially went in on, like, what?
Yeah.
So she's like, so what do you say? You do it better in your wigs than other people do?
Right. I mean, I get it. I understand.
Let me just say this. This is a result of when your mom's I'm saying
don't.
This is a result of when your mom's out chasing young black men, and your dad's busy turning into a woman. Who's raising the children?
Nobody.
Did anybody care these two young girls? You saw how the other ones turned out. Did anybody care they needed some kind of guidance in their life? This is a 17-year-old girl, and I've seen more provocative pictures of Kylie Jenner than I've seen of a lot of adult women. She is a social media just hound.
Yes.
She loves the attention.
Yes.
She has no talent. And there was no uproar when she's allegedly dating Tyga, who's like, what, 24, 25?
Yes.
Who's now in the scandal of being with a transgender woman?
It's just too much in that.
Nobody is policing this young girl.
Nobody's policing her, and not only that, nobody is telling her. This is a conversation that her mother should absolutely have had with her. Like, if you're going to be a part of this African American culture, you got to kind of watch the way in which you use it and the things that you say, because it can be taken as insulting and degrading, and you have to kind of watch that. And you understand?
But they've been raising themselves as part of the problem. Like, they were so busy raising them on TV, all they could see is what their older sisters were doing, and that's the kind of behavior. It seems like Kendall might think this is nuts and is backing away from it, but they have nothing left to emulate at this point, except for bad and negative. All she sees is, if I exploit myself to the max on social media, I can turn nothing into something because Kim did.
Well, use your own Armenian culture. Don't come for ours. Don't exploit yourself with our stuff. And I'm taking it back. I'm taking our stuff back. They can't use it.
Good luck with that. All right, the Maya Akai Show featuring me and Nikki Brady. We're in Celebrity Talk Side Eye. The conversation will continue. Stay tuned.
Get high and have fun. So they're high, now they're paranoid. By falling out of this chair. They're not young people who get stoned and they start to laugh and nobody knows what they're laughing at. You know, they just...
You got beer for you.
I see it.
I know it's I wrote this down here. I know it's like last season, but that's great how like y'all keep it funny at the end of the time. Now you know it's serious, and then it's bring it down with the laugh. And once it's going out, as we going out, it's keep it like y'all keep it like light of it. You know what I mean? That's excellent. Because y'all build it and bring it down to celebrate some of that.
Oh my God, it's just a...
No more, dude.
No, wait a minute. I went over to the Burger King. I said the guy took a piece of beef and threw it on the grill. I said, oh, wow.
development today in the still spiraling saga of Bill Cosby. His wife of 50 years, Camille Cosby, has broken her silence on the allegations against her husband and has come out swinging at the news media. Our report tonight from NBC's Ann Thompson.
For months, Camille Cosby has sat silently as her husband was asked if the allegations he drugged and sexually assaulted women were true.
There is no comment about that.
Today, she defended Bill Cosby in a statement saying, "The man I met and fell in love with, whom I continue to love, is the man you all knew through his work." That man appeared to be the ideal husband on TV. But more than 24 women have come forward to tell a much different story. Most recently, supermodel Beverly Johnson.
I most certainly didn't think of my legacy as being the first African-American model to grace the cover of Vogue and drugged by Bill Cosby.
Camille Cosby says that portrait is of a man she does not know, painted, she says, by individuals and organizations who many in the media have given a pass. She compares the scandal to the now discredited Rolling Stone article about an alleged gang rape at the University of Virginia. None of us, she says, ever want to be in the position of attacking a victim, but the question should be asked, who is the victim? Bill Cosby's lawyer has consistently denied the allegations, and the comedian has never been charged with a crime. But 2 women are now suing Cosby. Ann Thompson, NBC News.
All right. Welcome back. There's been the home stretch of the show.
Yeah.
And like little Bill Cosby comedy, which it's almost hard to listen to it the same way anymore because of everything that's going on. And then the breaking news is obviously Camille Cosby finally broke her silence. Gone a long way. Issued a statement about her stance on this, that she's standing behind her husband. Didn't by any means say that denied any affairs or extramarital things of that nature. That's already been acknowledged. But saying that she does not feel that he's a rapist and question who is the victim in this. You know, it's interesting because she's been under a lot of fire because she's remained quiet for quite some time.
What are you supposed to? What do you say?
You can put it.
Well, I think she said it. I think she said it the only way that she could. What's your thoughts on this? 708-223-0030, or you can always get social with the show at the Maya Akai Show.
Make you great, and
you know, here's the thing, and you and I, we talked about this in doing the pre-show, preparing to come on. I said, here's obviously something happened. There's no doubt. We don't question that. We know that clearly Bill Cosby had these extramarital affairs. And I think that it's the kind of thing where, because all these allegations are coming so far after the fact, like there was that suit in 2005, and that's where the information about the Quaaludes came out. And when you read the transcript, what it does not say is that I drug women specifically to have sex with them.
or without their consent.
Right. It said more of, yes, I bought Quaaludes with the intention of having sex with women.
Right.
So you can read that statement. It's like a person buying ecstasy. I'm not trying to create any excuses for him. I'm just saying the way that it read, it wasn't an admission of guilt when I read it.
Right.
So I was like, so now we're back to, we're still having the case of Bill Cosby is being tried in the court of public opinion. And though that doesn't give you jail time, it clearly kills your credibility is what it does. His legacy has now been diminished. And part of this conversation is how now you've got some black leaders that are calling for his star to remove from the Walk of Fame.
And I'm going to call them to uncall that. I have a problem with that. And this is why I'm going to say, regardless of what he did, here's the thing. He is an entertainer. And I think that we in this world, we get entertainers mixed up with other people. He is not a man of the cloth. He is not a governor, a politician, or a president, someone who represents the people. So he has absolutely no obligation to have a moral compass or integrity. His job is to entertain, and he did that. And you guys laughed for decades. And now to take away something that he absolutely harmed, whether he was a scumbag behind closed doors and when the Cosby Show wrapped or after his comedy shows is a totally different story. But his talent and his entertainment and what he gave this world is not under scrutiny and it should not be taken away from him. And I have a problem with that.
You know, and here, I get your point. And I did say from a business perspective, you do have like Disney World is taking some things down.
Fine.
And I get that.
Okay,
because
fine.
from a business perspective, people may have an issue with you still having anything that is a celebration of what Bill Cosby did. Even like you said, his celebration of his talent and what he gave is totally separate than what we're hearing about now.
Right.
So I do get that. But from a business standpoint, if it's going to cost people money, they're going to probably pull it off. His star is not going to cost anybody money.
It's not.
So hence, it's the last part of his legacy that
last part
is.
is let it live, let it go. It's not like he was in the Olympics, he used steroids, he cheated, I need my medals back. That's a totally different thing. You can't take back what he earned because he gave you laughter and he doesn't get that back. He put blood, sweat, and tears in this, and you can't take that away from him just because you don't like what he does in hotel rooms.
And you know what's interesting, because I have struggled with this a little bit in regards to, you know, I talked about Jaron Sharper on Wednesday, how he was just convicted of drugging women and having sex with them, and he admitted that. Bill Cosby has never admitted that, and from a mental health perspective, I'm always trying to figure out how I put this in the framework, and Dr. Phil actually talked about it a bit on one of his shows. Let's listen.
She took away my innocence.
Let's do it. This is a safe place to talk about hard things. Stand by, Dr. Bill. I'm trying to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction. 5, 4. I am not giving up on you.
Bill Cosby due to decades-old accusations of rape. New women are now coming forward to accuse comedian Bill Cosby of sexual abuse.
I could not open my eyes. His behavior was like that of a predator. I woke up in the back of my car alone.
Do you believe Bill Cosby is a serial rapist?
He's a serial rapist, absolutely.
Yesterday, Chief Beck said the LAPD would investigate all claims of sexual assault against comedian Bill Cosby.
In a sit-down interview with an Associated Press reporter just 2 weeks ago, Cosby, with his wife by his side, declined to answer questions about the rape allegations and asked that his
Says her mother wanted to nail Bill Cosby to the cross when she heard what allegedly happened in his hotel room. We'll be right back.
So one of the things that Dr. Phil got into in part of the clips that he played throughout is people talking about Bill Cosby being like a predator, a serial rapist. He kind of did a montage of all the different things that the women were saying.
Yeah, and they were, some of them were on there.
And some of them were on there after he kind of ran that.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's interesting because, generally speaking, when you hear of someone like this, the words you do hear is serial rapist or predator because of his appetite for, I guess, we still haven't proven, and here's a part of why I said this is about the court of public opinion. We still can't prove, without a doubt, that he raped those women. What we do know, and what he's never denied, is that he had sexual...
using drugs when he gets busy. That's what we know.
And he had sexual intercourse.
Yes, that's what we know.
That we do know. But because of the time frame that has elapsed, it's hard, and I'm not saying he did or didn't because I don't know,
right.
But unlike some people, I'm just not going to jump on the bandwagon and say that he did or didn't, because here's my thing. If it was me, I would hope people would give me the benefit of the doubt.
I'm trying to tell you, and I really am not taking up for him, and I don't want to further victimize these women if they were indeed, in fact, raped. But what I'm saying, there are people, and I actually sat in the courtroom, Maya, and this woman, when things weren't going her way and it didn't look good, you know what she yelled? Rape. Well, he raped me, and made up this whole convoluted story. And when you see people that do that, it really does discredit people who really have been raped. And so now, I guess your question, just like everybody else's, is why did it take you so long to say something?
And one of the things that I think, what people are tiptoeing around in this, because whenever you have someone come out and they make these kind of statements and they've been raped, the last thing you ever want to do is tell them, no, you weren't.
Right.
Because then it seems like you're not taking their account into consideration,
right.
And you're victimizing who is supposed to be the victim.
Right.
So everybody is kind of like, okay, rape's a strong word.
Yes.
Even though I may or may not believe you, I can't really say anything because then it seems like I'm making you the bad person in this.
But you don't want to do that, but nor do you want to make Bill Cosby the bad. If I can't say on your behalf whether or not I fully believe you, but I'm going to tiptoe around it and just say, okay, and well, all right, maybe it could have happened. You have to do the same thing on his side. Unless he's been convicted of anything, which he hasn't, and all that, you have to still give him the benefit of the doubt, just like we're giving the women the benefit of the doubt that they are telling the truth. We know something happened. We just don't know what. Or how, and we have to be fair about that on both sides. That's all I'm saying.
And